We want to play for you here a clip that has not been seen before of Barbara Walters' interview with Sarah Palin. It is on the topic of death panels, which you know is an attack, a line of attack Sarah Palin has taken against Obama's health care plan. Take a listen. We'll be back with Anna Marie Cox.
President Obama stood before a joint session of Congress and said there is no such thing as a death panel. Is he a liar?
He is not lying in that those two words will not be found in any of those thousands of pages of different variations of the health care bill. No, death panel isn't there. But he's incorrect, and he is disingenuous. It's kind of like what Reagan used to do, though, when he talked about, say, the evil empire. You're never going to find the evil empire on a map of the world, and yet he talked about that in terms that people could understand, kind of ratcheting down, not complicating the issue. Now, had he been criticized and mocked and condemned for ever using a term that wasn't actually there on a map or in documents, we probably would never have succeeded in quashing the evil empire and winning that.
There you have it. Sarah Palin says that death panels are like the evil empire.
She can see the evil empire from her porch.
Well, there you go. I suppose that's almost literally right. Anna Marie Cox joining us now from Air America. And first, your reaction to the first couple of days. Have you had a chance to finish the book yet?
I haven't finished the book.
Don't be embarrassed. That's okay.
I am going to finish the book. I plan on writing a review of the full book for anyone who will have it. It is a rough going, I will admit, but it is more interesting to sort of cover the coverage, and obviously there's been a lot of it. It's an amazing how much I've been asked to comment on it, even though I have not finished the book. But the book is beside the point, really.
Right.
The one thing I think we really should, there's a couple things I think haven't been said. One is that some of the coverage of her, I think, plays into the divides that she talks about when she sort of alludes to liberal elites, liberal media elites and whatnot. Some of the coverage of her has been somewhat condescending. I think the Newsweek cover of her with the Runner's World picture sort of set up a situation where the people who are drawn to her, the people who like her, now have even more reason to like her, now feel even more like she's being beaten up by media elites.
She complains about that Newsweek cover. It is a photo she posed for Runner's World.
It's a very, very different thing to do to pose. You know, David Patterson posed for a picture for Runner's World in short shorts. Do you think they're going to put that on the cover of Newsweek?
But here's my question. If you are as famous as she is, a lot more famous than David Patterson, she is a worldwide famous celebrity. Do you pose for anything without assuming that it's going to be everywhere and anywhere?
Obama, you know,
I'm not talking about Newsweek's decision to put it on the cover. I'm just talking about her decision to be prepared for it to appear anywhere.
I think that she probably trusted mainstream media more than she should have. You're right.
Well, I think
she probably shouldn't have trusted us.
She'd probably admit exactly the same to all this.
That said, she is not a serious person. She is not a serious candidate. She's not a serious politician. I think that was a sexist thing for Newsweek to do, to put that on the cover. But let's be very clear, this is not a person who is going to run for office, who could successfully run for national office.
Well, those are two different questions.
You cannot. I think they're both true. I think you cannot, on the sort of would she ever be successful at it, you cannot write a book like this and expect to win national office. A book that has assertions that are easily disproved and roundly, you know, sort of, disproved by all sorts of different documents, I should say, not just people on the other side, but by contemporaneous documents. And you also don't write a book that's attacking staffers. She spends the entire book punching down. You guys know you don't win in Washington by punching down.
What do you make of this? We were just hearing this. She's basically trying to assume the Ronald Reagan mantle, not in the way that we hear him referred to all the time in the campaign trail, but as if she is the actual, that she is the heir apparent to him in some way, and being able to, as she said, ratchet something down to be understandable for the average American.
If she thinks that's what Ronald Reagan's signature political move was, then I think she might have a lot of success in sort of a Glenn Beck type role.
There seemed like an intellectual honesty to this argument, saying, look, death panels don't exist, but technically the evil empire didn't exist either. We used it as a rhetorical flourish.
I wonder if she knows the term rhetorical flourish. I mean, I'm really not sure. I mean, I think that she. I will say this: to what extent it matters, she means well. You know, like, I don't think she's trying to debase the conversation. I don't think she's trying to throw a monkey wrench into our national debate. That said, I don't think she's helping things along. I don't think that it's useful to talk about. I didn't think it was useful to talk about the evil empire. So I also don't think it's useful to talk about death panels.
You mean you didn't think it's useful for Ronald Reagan to talk about the evil empire?
Exactly.
Briefly, Anna, is this going to be John McCain's lasting legacy to the country, Sarah Palin?
Wow. I hope not, for his sake. I kind of like John McCain.
I know you do, and that's why
Yeah.
that's why I asked the question. Fascinating to watch, as always, Anna Marie Cox, Air America. Check out airamerica.com, and of course her weekly radio broadcast.
Thank you.
I'm with you. My gut says she's not running for president. That does it for this edition of Top Line. Be sure to click us on again tomorrow.
Twitter.com/The Note. Keep the conversation going. And
You think she's running?
I think I'd take some odds against it. I mean, I think she's going to be around for